Welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
And we are here again doing our things. And
doing Maynia.
Oh yeah, Maynia.
Maynia, yeah.
Today's still the first. Today's the first. This will be up on the second. But so I decided I'm going to wait till after this to do my roulette wheel and work tonight. But I have a few things to talk about. But who wants to go first?
Can I go first?
Sure. Go first.
I got a giant pile in front of me. So today being the first, I did my update just a few hours ago. Well, on Saturday. Today's you'll be seeing this on Sunday, but I did it on Saturday, May 1st. And so what I had decided to do is a whip mania. And it turns out I have 21 whips. And so since this is 2021, it worked out really well. So I'm doing one whip a day for 21 days. And then we're actually going camping in Greer, at the cabin in Greer. And so I don't know what I'm going to be doing the last 10 days of May.
Right.
But I'll be working on whatever, on there. So anyway, so today I spun my roulette wheel and got Daily Walk in the Woods. And I'm sorry about the tattered condition of this page. I have a better page that I used for my update, but this is the one that was in my bag, and it's all curly and tattered and everything because I've had this for so long. And as a matter of fact, I was just talking about. I went to school with a kid. I won't say his last name.
Just in case he watches.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just in case he sees this or somebody who knows him sees this. But I went to school with this kid who he was the kind that would come to class with a piece of notebook paper folded up in his back pocket, and in his desk he had I guess every piece of paper that they gave him or that he stuffed into his desk. And so all of his papers looked like this, this curled up, nasty, because I printed off this PDF and then I've had it, for a couple of years now. So it's all, and that's the way all of this reminds me of him. This is the way all of his papers
Is he the one that said an alligator ate his homework?
But anyway, so this is my take on Daily Walk in the Woods by Carol Manning. I don't know if I said the name of it. So there it is. So I started in the middle and worked on this intermittently, but I haven't touched it in a long time. So I'm working on this tree right here, I think. Wait. No. This tree over here. And I'm mostly done with it. I have this little,
I love that
this
pattern.
corner to do and the tip here. And the problem is I'm very close to, I didn't really think it through very carefully when I did this a while back.
Is this the top tree?
This is the highest tree. But it goes all the way up to here, probably, so it's very close to the...
You goofball.
Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it to FFO it. Doesn't matter, because I've got a pile of things that have to FFO, because I keep putting it off. My stack of to be FFO'd is probably as big as my stack of whips, so... But anyway, so this is my whip for today. For the first day of May is Daily Walk in the Woods. And then also I have a finish. Many of you know I've been working on Blessed for my mom, this memorial for my mother, and I finished it.
Oh, it's beautiful. Here, let's
So,
put it close.
yeah.
We'll take a picture. This is so beautiful, but that's nice. We'll put a picture right here.
Yeah.
That's so pretty.
The bookmark she made is finally on the Etsy site.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one I got to.
Yeah. And then this one, I have an alphabet font for it and everything else. So when I get all that straightened out, it'll be on the Etsy site as well. And then on Sunday, Eve and I were dyeing some fabric because I have the Easter preparation and spring scamper, and I had been looking, for a piece of fabric for each of them. And for Easter preparation, I had chosen at first. I thought I would use a yellow piece of fabric, and I wasn't real sure about. But then when I was looking through my fabric, looking for something big enough to accommodate spring scamper, excuse me, I found this fabric that I had dyed some time ago, and I thought it's the right size, and I thought it would be appropriate for Easter preparation. So I think the white that's in the Easter bunny and his eggs will show up really well on that. And there's only one color in the banner. It's this lighter green color that might be an issue, but I don't think it will be. And Easter preparation is a Twin Peak Primitives.
Yeah, we showed that a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. Chart. And so this one is by Luminous Fiber Arts, the Spring Scamper. And this is the other piece of fabric. So I dyed these two, and they were in the same. I used like those plastic shoe boxes, the same box, and they were both just wadded up in there. And I used aquamarine dye, and they came out very differently. One.
Well, you put one in the thing again to make it bluer.
I tried, and it didn't.
It didn't take the dye.
Didn't take it. So these two colors, they're very different. One is more aquamarine, and one is more green. But I had put them both in there, and then put just little blobs of yellow, and the yellow took really well. But it turned this fabric a little greener than this one. So this is this is 28 count Lugana, Monaco Lugana, and this is, I think it's 32 count linen. But yeah, so they came out very differently.
Oh, wow.
But the
It's hard to see
really,
on that camera,
yeah.
but we'll
Was
take a
one in there
picture.
longer?
No.
No, I can't remember.
Well, this one is the one I put back in because it came out so green. But
it's more yellow than green, but yeah.
But
This is green.
Yeah, that's more green. That looks yellowish. Or like one of those weird...
I keep trying to teach Beth her colors. It never works.
yeah. But so this one is the one I'm going to use for spring.
They're
Scamper.
both beautiful,
Yeah.
regardless.
What's
Mine
that
didn't come
polka
out the
dot?
way I
Is that a bag?
expected either.
What?
What's that polka dot in there? Is that a bag?
It's a bag.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a...
Yeah, I
notions
bought
bag?
it at Hobby Lobby, I think, in the sewing notions section.
Mine didn't come out quite the way I expected either. And, when you take them out of the dye, they look very different than when they dry. And so Beth suggested that I show you what the dried ones look like. I did a pink. I have them kitted with thread for my projects for Maynia, so for the bookmarks. So here's the one it's the wine color, and I left it in too long, so it's not pink. It's
Nice.
red. But if you remember my Easter delivery, that one came out pink. It's the same color, the same dye.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is just white Ada, just like that other one. So they come out.
But I like that. It's very rich.
Yes. And here's the purple one. I kind of wanted a lighter purple, but I'm very happy with it. And look how the colors pop on it.
That's
so,
nice.
If I have, and I always end up with fat. And Beth was even commenting, your fabric you can never see what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I work with it. And then here's the blue one that I did, which I absolutely love.
Oh, that's nice.
And this one I ended up with most of the threads in it that go to these others, but all of them require quite a few threads. And I love this color. This is the one that I dyed in teal, which even though it looks blue when you pour it in there, this is the light,
That's nice.
beautiful color. And then the green is darker than I wanted or expected, but it's a very spring green, so I'm very happy with it. But that's the thing, is when you're dyeing your own fabric, it's not like when you see a fabric and you purchase it from somebody, because the only time you've seen it is when it's already dyed.
Yeah.
And so you may not get the same color. Now this one was the neon green, and you can see the difference.
Pull it down a little because the light's hitting it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, you can see the difference. This is apple green and this is neon green.
Oh, wow.
Very different. I have in mind something for this, and I did another one that was teal. I don't know where I put it. I put it with the flamingo because I'm going to do the flamingo in with it, I think. And then I showed the cross stitching for fun spring and summer patterns last week. So this is the one I'm gonna use for spring. I love the way it came out.
It's very light, pale green. It's so pretty.
It looks very, very spring light, and most of the bugs are like blues and dark greens. So I think it'll be.
I love those bugs.
Yeah, you like bugs though. I don't like bugs, but I like the pattern. And I was like, well, it's a really pretty pattern, but it's bugs. Well, technically, I guess dragonflies are bugs too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm using for summer. Nice and yellow, but it's got a green hint to it, and it looks very summery to me. I think I'm very happy with the way it came out. It's not anything like I was expecting it to. Nothing like I was expecting it to. But when it came out of the dye, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when it came out of the dryer, now we don't bake.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw somewhere somebody talking about baking them.
Yeah,
after.
bake and base it. What they do is, like, after they tea dye it, they'll put it like on parchment paper on a pan, like on a cookie sheet or whatever, but flat, and then like put it in the oven for just like a really short time. You have to be very careful you don't burn it. But then I guess it helps
Set it.
Yeah, it helps set the color, but it also like puts some like darker highlights in it or something like that. But I don't mess with that. Partly because I'm lazy and I'm not gonna do it, and partly because I'm just afraid that I would.
Yeah.
Well, and when I was working, I would dye t-shirts. You see me wear them. I probably not realize that I had dyed them, but the tie-dyed most of the tie-dyed t-shirts that I wear, I dyed those when I was working. We would dye 30 at a time, so that they would all have the same shirt if we went to the zoo or whatever, so we could see them. And it would give them an art project to do, so it was win-win. Those, we did it the way that it says, really super hot water, salt, because they're going to be washed. These are not going to be washed. The salt helps to set the dye.
Yeah.
To keep it in there so that
When you wash it, it doesn't wash out.
Right.
Yeah, I was wondering, because like when you dye yarn, they use an acid, either citric acid or vinegar, to help set the color.
yeah, and it depends on what you're going to use it for. But to dye fabric to stitch on, hopefully you will never have to wash it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to wash it, you hand wash it. But it will probably
Bleed a little.
bleed. So if you're going to wash it before. It will lighten the color, but it will not get rid of the color.
Yeah.
What's interesting is, that one of those little pillow things that I made with the violets on it, the fabric I dyed with berries. I used blueberries and raspberries or something like that. And it killed me to do that because I love berries. But anyway, I smooshed them up and just stuck them in water and stuck the fabric in there. I didn't even know what I was doing. But if I did it now, I would do it like in hotter water or something. I don't know. But what I noticed when I did that is that when I pressed the fabric, you could see the colors better, and then as it cooled down, they kind of faded away.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. It didn't stain the ironing board?
No. No.
She also
No,
dyed.
it was a long
She also
time ago.
dyed
It's just-
stuff with avocado peelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, it comes out very pink.
One
Yeah.
of my Knit Stars classes that I did last season 5 of Knit Stars, which is a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up. It's really great if you're a knitter. It's a online classroom. Basically, you get, and once you buy the season, you keep it forever, so you can go back and watch it. But one of the classes in season 5 was dyeing with natural things, and I love it. I haven't done it yet because I have the yarn that she recommended, and you get the paperwork and how to do it and everything, and it scares me to death. I don't know why. It's stupid, but
Because once you do it, you can't undo it.
well, yeah, and I bought yarn specifically for it, and I thought that's really great. So that's really interesting to me.
One of the things I was going to talk about is that when I was going through all my, it's a corner gauge. When I was going through all my whips, I was looking to see where they are, whatever. I found my corner gauge. I have been looking for this thing for weeks and weeks. Well, when I was doing that bookmark for Byron, I was gonna put the bookmark in the corner of the fabric because it's
Too
just,
bad you didn't use it for this.
I was gonna use it to find the starting point for the bookmark because I was gonna put it in the corner of the fabric.
So you wouldn't waste a whole big piece of
Right.
fabric. Yeah.
And so I was looking for that and I couldn't find it. I was like, well, is it in this pocket? Is it in this bag? Is it, and I couldn't find it. And I'm like, what the heck? What did I do with it? And I found it in a notions pouch in one of the.
And what is it Mother always said?
That's what I said. When you clean, you find treasures.
Which we hated hearing as children.
Yeah.
Because it was usually accompanied with,
Go clean
get
your
it in.
room.
Yeah. But also today I talked about I had ordered these threads for the Spring Scamper because it uses a combination of Weeks and Classic Colorworks and DMC, and of course I had all the DMC, and I thought I'm just gonna go ahead and because it has like a DMC conversion. Yeah, I could have done the whole thing in DMC, but I thought, what the heck, I'm gonna buy the other colors, the Fancy Floss, and I had like one of the colors in there. I had Carrot, it's a Week Works color, and all the others I did not have. So I went ahead and ordered them, but I ordered from 123 Stitch that had all the colors except 2 of the Week colors, and I was just gonna wait. But then I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll look at Fat Quarter Shop, and so Fat Quarter Shop had it. So I when I did my update today, I was talking about I had received these and I was still waiting on the Fat Quarter Shop order. And then as soon as I finished, my dad went out to check the mail, and sure enough, there was that happened a couple weeks ago too. Yeah. So the Week Works colors. Yeah. Go check the mail, Dad. So I have all the colors now for Spring Scamper.
That's fun.
I have to wait until after the 21st to do all, because I'm doing all
your works in progress.
Yeah.
Well, shall I go?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so I decided to do Maynia like a stitcher, but I'm doing with all my knitting projects, and I put it in a roulette wheel. But when I was playing with the roulette wheel, just playing with it the other day, it kept choosing the same thing. So I may do like Beth she's eliminating one.
Yeah, I'm like this one.
Or I may decide to just, I don't know, just like schedule it, like Monday this, and maybe like every Monday I work on X and every Tuesday I work on X. But I have I have a problem, another problem besides castonitis. I have a book fetish, and so I bought this knitting planner. Mm-hmm. And because I liked it, and it has stickers. But I haven't used it. So I decided to
Wow, I laughed
I
loud
decided-
that time.
That's okay. I decided to list my projects in here, and it's kind of, I don't like the way it's like it says project and then it says pattern, and the pattern thing is like this. I'm like, what am I supposed to put in there? Because I've used the, like I name them, like Eli's sweater or whatever. But anyway, I know what patterns they are. Anyway, so then I went through and realized that I can't really work on all my whips because I don't have enough cables. And I called my local yarn shop and I said, do you just sell the cables for Knitter's Pride? Interchangeable sets? And she's like, yeah. So I'm like, oh. So I think tomorrow I'm going there if you want to go.
Yes.
So I'm going to go to Tempe Yarn and Fiber in Tempe, Arizona. If you live in the area, you should go. It's great. And if you don't, you can order online from them. They're really nice people. So then I went through. I'm like, okay, I'm not even sure I have enough needles for all my projects because like most of them are size 6 and 7. Like, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then, so I kind of have it all figured out. And then I decided. Then I found this project. Looking through my whips, I found this project, and this is. I'll show you It was a free pattern I found for a granny square crop little top. And my daughter loved it and she wanted this. So I started this, I don't know when I started this, last year. And
I think last summer.
Last summer, I think. And I got very far. So you can see, she said, I want the colors to look like the Arizona desert. Yeah, it was the summer because I shopped through video call with Tempe Yarn and Fiber finding colors. So we have this deep red and this nice yellow, and then this rusty orange color, and then this beautiful green, and then to sort of tie it in, we have this taupe. So I think it's going to be really beautiful. And then, but so then I had a crisis because I had counted how many squares. Just because it doesn't really say. It doesn't really say. Oh, it says this is made with 37 granny squares, but the granny squares on this picture are a lot bigger than I think. And it says, oh yeah, measure between roughly between 3.5 and 4 inches. And so then I was trying to figure out exactly if that would actually fit her, So I had to do a little bit of recalculation, but. Because it's 37 and I was trying to figure out how many colors of each I need. Wait, what did I decide to do? Maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe I decided to do it in these colors, yeah, and use this as the connection.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, I also made these. I'm going to make 2 of these.
Because she wanted even numbers of the other ones, and she has these.
Yeah, this little sun square. So I did one where it's the red, the burnt orange, yellow, and green, and then I was going to do another one like this with all 4 colors in opposite. I think now that I'm looking, because I just grabbed it literally as I was running out the door, and I'm like, I'm going to look at this and maybe put this in my whip list because and now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was going to use this for stitching them, for doing the crochet, to stitch them together, this taupe. So maybe what I wanted to do was make more of, because I think I need to make more of these. I want to say it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think I needed to make 9. I think I figured out measurement-wise, like what would be a good size for her, I think. Fortunately, you can kind of pin them together and try it on, so I'm going to try that. Because she's coming home in a couple weeks, and I thought, well, maybe if I can get a few done.
She's coming home in a couple weeks for a couple of weeks.
For a couple of weeks, yeah. Yeah.
She's one busy girl.
Yeah, she is. She's got a summer institute to go to. But I just love this orange color. It's so gorgeous. And I found this, like I said, I found this bag, and I was like, this is so nice. I need to finish it.
I think you should work on that one. Work on that one tonight. Make that your first one, and then spin.
Well, yeah,
after.
but now
and then spin after today.
Yeah, but now I'm confused because I was trying to remember and I don't have written down.
You'll figure it out.
my schematic or what I thought.
Dog, are you touching?
Because I was looking at this, kind of like counting like where they put the squares and stuff like that.
Just lay them out again, figure it
Yeah,
out again.
yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's the same as it was before.
Yeah, and maybe I will make a few. Maybe I'll make a few of these taupe ones just to have in there. And still use it to connect, or should I just use it to connect?
I don't know.
I'm trying to decide. Yeah, I think that's what I did because look, I bought two skeins of this. So I think I bought that for the connection. Because I don't want to have, because I think it'd be nice to have a contrast around all the squares with this taupe and not have one that had this as the main color and then the edge, because those would look bigger, into the eye. And here's my failed sun one that I tried. I threw that away. But anyway, but yeah, so these are cotton. This is Cascade Ultra Pima Fine. It's not their regular Pima cotton, like their worsted weight. It's a fine weight. It's like a sport weight. But Eve, I was doing this because I was thinking I was going to make another square in this color, and then I realized I'm not going to. But have you ever used a magic circle in crochet? Like, I bet Grandma would have flipped out if she knew about that. Because the way older crochet patterns always say to chain 3 and make a ring, and then put all your center, so like these center circle stitches into that little ring, and you always kind of have a little hole. And so I don't know who invented this, but you make this magic ring, and you pull the end, and it cinches up that circle into a tight little, and you can pull it as tight as you can, and you don't have a hole. And I was thinking about Grandma, because our grandma used to crochet forever.
She crocheted all the time.
And we have
like a tick.
Yeah, a million crocheted items.
She loved
from
making
slippers and blankets and
those little Christmas stockings. I had
and some beautiful shawls. We found a bunch of beautiful shawls, and actually, my Aunt Mary Lou brought one for her. She's like, if she has a performance, she could wear this. And
you took those little baby slippers, and the other day I was like, ooh, I could figure out.
Yes.
I can't, because they're over there.
Well, you could have called me. I live 10 minutes away. You could drive to my house.
Yeah,
and you know what? You need to take them. You know why? Because even though the wool hunter loves wool, he loves those slippers. I keep finding them stolen off my box.
He's going to ruin them.
I know.
He's a naughty cat.
And okay, so
he's also a very cute and cuddly cat.
We took all our shawls out, all my shawls for my mom's service, because we were outside. And I brought one shawl with me, and I lent my cousin one. And we have an IKEA unit in our bedroom that has like you can put however you want to do it. But we bought two cabinet, doors for 2 of the squares, and then we got a drawer set for the other 2 squares, and then we have the bottom 4 just open. So I used I have some. Or maybe it's a 6. I don't know. No, it's 8. Anyway, I have some of those fabric squares from IKEA that you can put like a drawer, right? You just put stuff in it, and it fits perfectly in there, and it fits all the way to the tippy top. And that child somehow opened it, pulled my shawl out, snagged it, and then, but when I came in, the drawer, the little fabric square was back in place. So we just pulled it out, grabbed the shawl, and put it back. I'm like, how did you do that? I was so mad. I put it on the table.
He didn't climb in there and just kick it out?
No, because he would have knocked it out. If he had pulled it out enough to get in it, because it's not the one on the ground. It's the one like there's squares on the ground, but then there's one above it, I think.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember, but if he had gotten in it, it would have fallen out because he's a chunk. And so he must have just pulled it out, reached in, grabbed it out, and put it on, because it was just right on the floor. And he's looking at me like, "What, Mom?" I'm like, "That shawl is. Stop it!" Okay, so now I think I'm gonna make a couple more squares. I wonder if I'm gonna have to get more yarn, because look, I just have tiny bits left.
I thought you told me you were almost done.
I was, but then I realized I think measuring it out, because it doesn't really tell you. This is I'm sorry, whoever made this pattern, thank you, but it's not great. And I want to rewrite it actually and republish it as my own and fix it, because actually I don't make these squares the way they said, because it's not written well. Anyway, so it's kind of my own pattern in a way, but this is just the idea, and it was free. But I tried to measure, because it says it's a small medium. I don't know, maybe it still would be okay. I really need to lay it out and measure exactly what it would, because including the
Stream of consciousness crocheting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm figuring this out online. I'm just really talking about it because what it doesn't say is how to attach it.
How to put it together.
How to put it together. Now I might go to Arne and Carlos, or knitwear designers from Norway, and they have patterns for crochet blankets, and they talk about how to join. After the fact, so maybe I'll steal their joining ideas, because it says, it's literally like, this top is made with 37 squares. It doesn't say how to join them, or if there's any kind of pattern you can use to join them that would make it neat. There's also Tony TL, what is she called? Tony, I can't remember her last name. She's a crocheter on YouTube, and she's fabulous. And she gets some tutorials about sewing granny squares together. So maybe I'll just hodgepodge it together, and then I'm going to rewrite this pattern as my own, because I've really adjusted the way that
You got the idea, and then from there you
yeah,
just
because
didn't
I
have
was like,
anything
well,
else.
this is a neat idea, but I don't like the way she makes the squares. So I kind of made it my own, and now it's been so long. That's why I'm sitting here counting. You probably saw me counting the center circle and everything. But I really like the sun pattern. I'm curious though, if you're wearing it, if it's going to be too see-through-y. If I should could I line it with a cotton?
She could just wear it with a camisole.
Yeah, she hates that.
Well,
She's going to have to, Hannah. If you're watching this, you're just going to have to deal with it. Because these are holy, and you liked it. I like how they look like little suns. And
Young
that's why I
people
made
don't
that
care
one.
so much about their bra showing.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, so I need to make another one of these is what I need to do.
So is it my turn?
It's your turn. I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, but I have one other thing to show.
Okay.
Real quick. Remember I started this last week? This is the shawl I started for my mom. And I got this far already. It's hard because this cable is too small for the pattern, because I need more cables, but here's kind of where it is. Oh gosh. So it's getting big already. It's a nice pattern. Pretty soon I'll do a lace pattern on it to give it some more holes. But here it is. So that's all. That's all. Oh, wait. One other thing. I got squishy mail. I saw Facebook ad or Instagram ad, something came across, and there's a company called Mountain Meadow Wool, and I saw the ad for this. It's a cowl, and the yarn is made of bison and alpaca and sheep wool. And the name of the yarn is Tatanka, which is, it reminds me of my favorite movie, Dances with Wolves.
There's a.
It's not her favorite movie.
Tatanka.
She has 1,000 movies.
Well, I do have 1,000, but it's really one of my favorite movies. And
there's a. I think it's a Weeks Dye Works color
called Tatanka.
Tatanka.
Well, it's the name for bison. So
yeah.
But I saw that it was named Tatanka and that it was actual bison, and I thought I have to have that, so I ordered it. And this is my little Tatanka. Just a little bit started, because I have.
So what are you gonna make with that one?
Well, it's an actual pattern for
Oh,
this. It's a cowl with buttons.
Uh-huh.
You can use it as a head warmer or a neck warmer.
Because we
And
need
so-
those in Arizona.
Well, sometimes.
You need them
But-
when you
oh,
go
and
up
here-
to the mountains. And
Here's where you
Cold.
learn adaptations. So this pattern, I don't know if you can see it. I'll take a picture of it. This pattern has a cable that goes along this center of the cowl, and it says here that the C6B means put 3 stitches on the cable needle and hold in back, because that's what the B stands for. Knit 3, then knit off the cable needle, and you make your little cables. Well, and I read that, and then when I did it, I held it in front. So my first cable leans to the left. So then I was going, and I got back to the cable row, and I was like, oh, okay, what does that stand for? Hold in back.
Little
and I was
dog.
remembering.
Stop.
Doggy's bugging you.
She's
I was remembering
tickling my foot.
that when I did the first cable, I remembered that I held it in front. And I thought, did I do that? So I made it the way it said, hold it back. So then I had one cable going this way and one going they're all supposed to go the same direction. So I just scratched it out and said, rode in front. That's my design element. So I have cables that are going the opposite way of the design, but that's okay, because it'll still look nice. Anyway, now I'm done. So that's my Tatanka. But I can't work on it here because I have to be like literally like, because the pattern's tiny and everything.
So right now I'm working on, I'm almost done, and we'll show you a close-up one, but with...
Is it turtles?
Yeah.
Can I interrupt you and ask you for that green pen that's behind you? I just need a pen real quick. Spank you.
This is my own design. It's called Morning Walk, and it is a turtle. There's flowers. I know they look like they're coming out of his back, but you know, what can you do?
Oh, I see.
And one's the front and one's the back. See his little tail? See his little tail right there? His little tail.
Cute.
So this is like raiding the garden with the bunny. So it's a front and back pattern. So
Cute.
this one I'm going to finish as an ornament, I think. And you could do it as a pillow, you could do it as a pin keep, as an ornament, as a scissor fob. Anyway, I'm almost done. I'm finishing. And I'm still dithering about the flowers here. On this pattern, I went ahead and put brown around the center because the colors of the flower are very close in color. And I like the way they look. You can see the middle, but it's very close in color. And then I thought, well, what if I used, instead of brown around the center, what if I used one of the greens? Because then you wouldn't have to have brown for, you know, this much back stitch. Because I try to be aware that, you know, now it wouldn't matter what color brown you used, but I try to be aware that you know, threads cost money. But I'm still thinking about that. And I'm very close to being done. I'm very happy. I am doing Maynia, but not the way, I'm not starting a project every day. I am starting a project, but still continuing to work on my whips. And when that project is done, then I'll start a new one. But I will mostly work on the project that I started. And that's why I dyed all the fabric for the bookmarks, and but I want them to be new patterns that I start. And that's why I went ahead and got the fabric ready for spring and summer. Anyway, I have all those new patterns on a wheel, and I spun it last night late. And I think it was 1 o'clock. I don't know.
It was officially May 1.
It was, yeah.
That's what I did.
And I got Mary Gryffindor from the Snowman Wizards. And I started it this morning. I cut my fabric, and as Beth want to remind me, I pick fabrics that are impossible to see my stitching.
And then she cries about it.
So I did the hat, and it, I mean, like right away. And then I was doing this is B 5200. And I looked at it against this sparkly fabric, and I was like, well, that looks horrible. And it wasn't so much that I couldn't see it, then it was that I could see it, and it looked yellow compared to this. And it just, I don't know, it didn't look good to me. So I went ahead and put one blending thread of a iridescent blending thread in there, just to give it just a little bit more light. So I was stitching, and where I stitched, there's a window to my left and a light behind me, but there isn't a light like overhead. And in the morning, the sun comes in on that window, and I can see things very, very well. And as the day progresses, it's harder. So I was stitching this white going, I can't see. And I thought, when I was looking at the pattern, I said, well, I'm going to stitch all the white of the snowman, and then I'll put in all the scarf and, everything else. And the cheeks and all the things that he has. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to put all those in because I couldn't tell where I skipped and where I didn't skip. And I'm like, did I put it in the right spot? Now here, with the light shining on it, I can see it, and I'm still not sure. I might have to take things out.
Oh.
I don't know. And
uneven.
here I skipped the cross back over of 2, I think. So
You need an
I
odd
see-
light.
Yeah.
I see frogging in my future.
Yeah. You need an odd light. I mean, they're so expensive. But even that, that, I don't know if you noticed, on my end table between my chair and the couch, I have one of those IKEA lamps. Those are super bright, and I put it right on my work sometimes.
That's what
I have so much trouble.
That's what I have on my headboard, because I stitch in bed 99% of the time. I have that I bought an IKEA just clip lamp, and it has a little toggle switch, and I have it on my headboard and aimed at where I stitch, and sometimes I can stitch with the ambient room light. I turn my overhead light on there in my room, but 99% of the time I turn that spotlight on. That it's a clip lamp, a reading lamp kind of thing. But yeah, I use that all the time.
I realized what part of this problem was. Half of these stitches are like over 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
And because I was like, I can't see that, and then I thought I saw it, and then I'm like, I really can't see that. And so I finally went, okay, this is stupid.
I don't know if it was
I gotta stop.
If it was on Pam and Steph or another show, another floss tube video, where they were talking about how they had left one of those light. It's a light with a magnifying lens on it, and it was by a window, and the sun came through and came through the magnifying thing and like burnt a hole in their fabric. So
I'm sorry, that's not funny.
it wasn't funny because that house could have caught on fire.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
not funny. It's
But,
funny, but it's not funny.
Yeah. So but no. Priscilla and Chelsea were talking about a different brand of light.
Yeah, that they there was a coupon for a while on.
Yeah,
but I
it was
could
on-
never.
yeah.
They were talking too fast, and I didn't know what they were saying. So, because when I have them on, I'm usually doing 10 or 11 other things. So.
But yeah, they were talking about because it is like a
Yeah, I saw them.
long. They had it on there on their channel, but it's kind of like a long, not horizontal, but what is the word? Rectangle. Yeah, it's a.
It's not an hot light though.
No, it's
different
not.
brand?
It's a different brand. Yeah.
I was
Something
looking at
begins
lights
with
when I
S.
was at Joanne's. Remember I told you that
Mm.
you were waiting for me, and I was like, I was looking at lights.
Mm.
Because where I stitch in the, where I can, my TV is, and there is an overhead light there.
Mm.
It is a useless overhead light, and you have to stick your tongue in the right place even to get it to come on. and then when it comes on, it doesn't really actually light anything. So, and a lot of the lights in this house are kind of like that. We have a hallway light and a little alcove light that you turn them on and you're like, I still can't see anything. So, so I was wanting something that would go beside the couch beside me and that I could pull over, just to give me light when the sun wasn't shining through that window.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Oops,
going to
I'm doing this wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4.
okay, I'll
I
find
just
that
realized
later.
something.
What?
Hold on a second. I just realized something about my crochet thing.
What?
No.
What crochet thing?
This thing.
Okay.
I was just
The
trying to figure out
project.
because it says, the original pattern says 37,
Uh-huh.
right? So I made 7 of each of these. I wish I'd written down what I was thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I made 7 of each. 7 times 4 is only 28.
Yeah.
Plus another 7 would have been 35. So I was going to make 7 out of this. So that would be 35. And then the 2 sun ones would be 37. That's what I was going to do. So I was going to make 7 out of these. Okay. That makes more sense. Sorry. I'm just trying to figure. This is real life figuring out what the heck you were doing a year ago. Yeah. So there you go. Okay.
So, I have a very funny story. So I got absolutely nothing done. This has been a week of
Me too.
like nothing went right. And so I like to put on these Color Street nails. They come like this, and
Here's some.
yeah, and it's real nail polish, and you peel it off this stuff and you just put it on your nails. And I like it because I don't get nail polish everywhere. I don't have to wait for them to dry, you know, and I can my nails are very thin and brittle because of
And our sister-in-law Rachel is
she's
a pusher.
Yeah.
She's a dealer. But she doesn't sell them, but she loves them, and so
But she-
keeps
yeah.
us in.
And
Keeps
she
us in nails. She's so
well,
sweet.
I bought quite a few actually.
No, I know.
Anyway,
I mean, it's
yeah.
her fault.
Yes, it is. And so I put on nails last week. You saw them on my video, and you know I put them on specifically for my mother's service.
Yeah, her graveside service.
Mm-hmm. And earlier this week, my nails are very, very thin and they break a lot. They started doing that after. When I say I had drug reactions, I don't mean like meth. I'm allergic to quite a few drugs. Anyway,
Medications, not drugs.
Yeah.
Medications.
Okay. The drugs. Okay, so this finger, it like cracked and broke halfway down. So I painted hard
Her
as nails
fingernail,
over it.
not a finger. Her fingernail.
Okay. Keep correcting me, but let me finish. So I
We're
put hard.
prolonging the suspense of the story.
I put hard as nails over it to try to let it grow out a little bit, and finally, a couple nights ago,
Your dog keeps tickling my feet. I keep moving my feet, and she's like,
Oh, she's sweet.
baby,
sorry.
she's got long whiskers.
Yeah.
So a couple nights ago, I was, or maybe during the day, yesterday during the day, I think it was. Yeah. I was gonna just take off the nails and put hard as nails on my nail because that one had broken and I wanted to have them harder.
Strength. Yeah.
Yeah. And these actually mostly help keep my nails from breaking. Anyway, so I was sitting at the kitchen table. Normally I do this over on the coffee table, so I was very glad I was on the kitchen table. And I had finished taking off, you just take them off with nail polish. It's real nail polish remover. It's real nail polish, so it's not hard to get them off. And then I was in the process of painting the hardest nails on my nails, and I finished this hand, and I was, I think, 3 fingers in on this hand. And I went to put more stuff on the little brush and knocked over the bottle of hardest nails. And there it went all over the table. So I grabbed the cotton things that I'd used to clean up
To take off your nails?
to take off my nails, because I knew it already had nail polish remover on it, and I started wiping it, but it was way too much for that. So I reached in the bag of cotton balls to get it more, to try to get it off, and I did, and then I looked at my hands, and they were furry.
Covered in cotton?
They were covered in cotton, and it was just stuck, and I'm like, oh my, and I tried to get it off, and it wouldn't come off, and I was like, oh no.
all afternoon she was like picking at her fingernails.
And we were gonna go to Rachel's house to play cards, and there wasn't that much time, and I'm like, I don't want to, start now just trying to take it off again, because then I'd have to paint it on again
And spill it again.
yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna deal. And so today, I was gonna take it off, and I said, no, I'll just buff it so it's not fuzzy and bumpy.
Mm-hmm.
I may still. There's a couple of them that it's really bumpy.
Oh no.
So I may still have to do that. But I mean, it was hilarious. It looked,
Well, one day Hannah was very little, and we lived in a house. Sorry. Excuse me. We lived in actually where Rachel is now, at her little townhouse, and the bedrooms are carpeted, but the rest of the house has stone tile. And I don't know, I don't remember how she got hold of it or why. She was a toddler, and she dropped pink nail polish, like not pink, but like burgundy color nail polish, or maybe it's like fuchsia, I don't know, on the tile. The whole thing broke, and I think I should check with Rachel. I think the grout is still stained. It was like right between all the, like right by the bathroom and our bedroom door, and that stuff. So you should be glad it wasn't colored. And then I was worried that if you're using nail polish remover to take it off, if it ate the plastic of the tablecloth.
no, I use non-acetone.
Oh, okay.
Because of my skin being allergic to everything.
5, 6,
What are you doing?
8, 9, 10.
What are you
11,
doing?
12.
You're a nut dog.
She's a naughty dog.
She wants to sit here and be with me, and she gets bored, and she starts looking for things to chew on.
1, 2, 3.
My only story of the week was that, the colonoscopy that wasn't. But, anybody who's of a certain age who's ever had a colonoscopy for whatever reason knows that it's no fun.
Oh no.
And, so I have had no luck with medical procedures, because I was supposed to go see an ophthalmologist not too long ago, and the guy that I went to, I thought I had misunderstood something that his assistant or his scheduler or whatever told me, but apparently he was telling me the truth, I guess, that this guy does, like, he'll do an ophthalmological exam for various things, and I guess he does ophthalmology, like surgeries or something. If you have something wrong with your eye, he'll
do prescriptions for that, but he won't write prescriptions for glasses.
If you go in, he'll do a diabetic ophthalmology exam, but he will not write a prescription for glasses. You'd have to go to an optometrist. I don't know. He's a knucklehead. I'm not going to say he's a knucklehead, because I didn't bother to go see him because it was a waste of time. Anyway.
It doesn't make any, like every other ophthalmologist I've ever been to.
Yeah. Right. If you have something wrong, whether you have something wrong with your eye, they give you an ophthalmology exam, but they'll, also just give you a regular exam and tell you whether you need glasses. But he doesn't do that. So anyway, so I had to find a different ophthalmologist. And but then last fall, I had a doctor's appointment, and I've had an anemia issue in the past, and so my doctor wanted me to, because my numbers were kind of borderline, and wanted me to have a colonoscopy, and just to make sure I didn't have any bleeding or whatever. So so he had given me a referral to a gastroenterologist, and I went to meet with her, and she wanted a clearance from my cardiologist, and so before they would schedule my procedure. So I went to see my cardiologist and had clearance from him, and I had a hold of I had it, and I was waiting to hear back from the gastroenterologist, and didn't hear from them. And then finally, I got a letter from them saying, we've been trying to get a hold of you, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, well, they must have my number wrong or something. So I called and left a message and left my phone number and my name and everything else so I could hear back from them. And then I just never heard back from them for weeks and weeks. So I went to see my doctor. I said, this person is fired. And so he gave me a referral to a different gastroenterologist. So I went to see him and met with him, and he talked about sending me to a hospital facility for the procedure. And so then after talking with him, I went to talk to his assistant, and the assistant, we were talking about scheduling it at the hospital and blah blah blah. But he wanted, he was saying, the cardiologist clearance is just outside, they have a limit of 3 months, so it's just outside the limit. So if you could get that updated, blah blah blah. So I said okay, and or he was gonna contact them to get an updated clearance. So I was waiting and hadn't heard back from him. So I called him, and he said that they had never called him. And so he said, I'm going to go ahead and call them again, but if you could call them, and maybe that would light a fire under them, and they'll send the updated clearance. So I called, and sure enough, and they said, well, you might have to go see the cardiologist again to get an update, but whatever, but they would, let me know, blah, blah, blah. So I waited a little while, and I called the assistant again. And he said, no, I got the clearance here, so I'll send you an email with the instructions and everything else and blah, blah, blah. So he sent me an email, and he sent me the address of the facility and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't think that it wasn't the hospital. It was another facility. But I didn't think about it. So I was like, thinking about all the prep junk you have to do, And so I was doing all that, and it's, it's not a pleasant thing.
It's not?
No,
but it did help us figure out what was wrong with our toilet.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
But anyway, so I went through all of this, and, and we went to the facility, and you have to call ahead so they can screen you, make sure you don't have COVID and blah, blah, blah. And so I did all that, and I was in the waiting room, and they called me back, and I went to a little, cubicle, and they, I changed clothes. I was in a little gown and got up in the bed, and then the nurse comes in. She goes, oh, are you, we can't do your procedure here because, it's, we don't do them here. You would have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And so I waited, and I talked to the doctor, and he's like, yeah, and he showed me the papers, from my consultation, I guess, and the hospital was listed on there, and I was like, oh yeah, now I remember. And he said,
then
yeah.
Why did the scheduler know that?
Yeah, he said, that's what he said. He goes, Because my assistant messed up. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to yell at him.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah. So
Like,
now
no,
I have
don't
to
yell at him. Make him do a colonoscopy
Yeah.
for no reason. That's
Yeah.
what he needs to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna make him drink the prep. So yeah. So now I have to reschedule and I have to do it all over again.
Oh boy.
So yeah.
Yay.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. So I need a new ophthalmologist and not a new gastroenterologist,
Just a new scheduler.
a new appointment for that. So yeah,
That's no fun.
if it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all.
Right.
Well, I kept looking. Why did I get nothing done? The stuff for the Etsy site, the only thing I got up there was her bookmark. Every time I sat down in order for me to do that, I need a period of time in front of my computer uninterrupted. Because then I forget what I'm doing. And I was so happy Beth took all those pictures for me. I can't find them. I know they're on my phone somewhere. I thought I had uploaded them.
You're like, why did I get so dumb all of a sudden? And then you remembered.
And then, this week, I had my COVID shot on Sunday. So Monday was, a total bust. And, I had to drive, Naomi had her COVID shot later.
Tuesday.
And I had to drive her and my father to one of his appointments.
On Wednesday.
And I had to take Beth to her appointment on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we had cards on Friday.
well, but before I had to take her to her appointment, we had been struggling with knowing we would occasionally, not every day, see water on the floor in the bathroom.
Oh no.
And we were
Yeah.
like, where is this coming from?
Yeah. Yeah, because I thought, it didn't seem like the toilet was leaking.
No,
we
because
couldn't
I
figure
looked.
out. Yeah, we couldn't figure out it was the toilet, is it the bathtub?
So was it the seal?
Well, I'll tell you here in a second.
All right.
So the day that she's doing the heavy prep on Wednesday, there was she said
laughing in the other room.
she said there's a lot of water on the floor.
Yeah.
And she went to bed, and I went in there, and I mean, a lot of water on the floor. And I was like, oh my God. So
Just one more
I
thing.
pulled everything out of the bathroom. I was scrubbing that floor and bathroom and everything until like 1 a.m., trying to figure out where it was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was doing it by hand because I wanted to know where it was coming from. It's not like I took a Swiffer or a mop
Yeah.
and I certainly didn't want Beth running into the bathroom and slipping on water or
Yeah.
flying. That's all I needed. So finally, I was like, it's coming from the back of the tank, but not the little hose.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that is so weird. And it would just, a big drop. And then after a while, another big drop. And I think it was just because she was flushing the toilet so often that maybe it got worse or just we noticed it better. So, of course, the next morning, I had to call the plumber. So then I took her on Thursday. And they said the plumber would come on Friday because it wasn't an emergency. It was just...
Unfortunately, we had some of those puppy pads.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
I use them underneath the
Cat box.
cat boxes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I had some extra ones.
So he came. They were supposed to come between 10 and 3. He came at 8. He called at 8 and said, "I'm on my way."
Yeah.
Oh,
I was still in my pajamas, like I have to better go to the bathroom quickly before it comes.
so what it was the screw that's right in front that, like, I guess that holds the tank in place or something. It was leaking from there. He just went and put new screws in and it was done. And he left.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because we were worried we had to get a new toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, and this week also the HVAC guy came.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I had to clean behind the dryer when he pulled the dryer out. I'm like, why didn't I get anything done? I know why.
You're busy all week. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it has been one of those weeks for me. And yet, I did a lot of cross stitch because I could take my cross stitch with her. I could take my cross stitch with you. Of course, with you, I took my cross stitch for a ride. It didn't actually, even open the bag. At the hospital.
You mean for when we took Dad?
Yeah.
Oh.
I
took my knitting for a ride because
I didn't have time to even sit down.
I mean, the longest part of that whole thing was walking all the way through the hospital.
I went inside to go to the bathroom, and I was going to wait in the car. And on the way out, I saw Starbucks, and I said, I'm going to wait in the car, in the hot car. I might as well have a nice, Starbucks.
Icy drink.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I waited and waited and waited. The line took forever, and then I'm waiting for my drink, and I'm waiting for my drink, and I see a drink there that nobody is getting, but it is not my drink. And then the guy, finally, he says my name. Now, if he had said my name when he first put that drink there, like they're supposed to, I would have known that he made the wrong drink. I waited there probably 10 minutes for nothing.
Oh, jeez.
She said matcha. And
I said matcha, and the girl put down mocha.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's not what I ordered.
That sounds good.
Well, but I wanted a matcha. And so he made it very, very fast. The second one he made very quickly, but, So.
Yeah, when we walked by the Starbucks in the hospital there, when I took Dad, I was like, oh, that smells so good.
Yeah.
The
I have
Starbucks
no time.
I went to?
Yes, your famous hospital Starbucks.
Yeah.
The hospital we took my dad to for his procedure was the same. It was just a CT scan, but it was the same one that Beth was at when she was so sick. So yeah, brought back a lot of memories. But I knew my way around.
There's a fat little dog sitting on my foot.
I sit on my foot, little dog. I like dogs on my feet.
Yeah, so this week was...
So she just licked my toes.
Besides having fuzzy fingernails. Now, we did have to do something again, we went to play cards, but that was fun.
Yeah. Oops.
So,
keep
playing hand
forgetting
and
how
foot.
to do this.
Yes.
Yes, we're playing hand and foot, and Eve is winning. As usual.
Because she's sitting
Annoying.
she's sitting by the lucky window. We have a theory about whether it's good luck, better luck to sit by the window.
Well, it seems like every time I sit by the window, I win.
Yeah.
Okay, I win a lot. But at Mark and Naomi's house, I don't win as much.
And Mark is winning our family game. And I even won the hand. It's like the third. So you play 4 hands. The first hand, you have to put down. You have to put down points. It grows what you have to meld with. So it's harder. But we're in the third. We just played the third hand last night, and I won. It's like I got my mojo back. I haven't had any kind of card mojo. He has been winning everything. It's so annoying. Anyway, and Eli's laughing. And Eli's beating me. I just could not play. It's awful. But last night, I won the hand, and I'm still, like, 3,000 points behind him.
Well,
I hate him so much. I don't hate my husband.
Eli won the
Just hate it
first
when he
hand,
wins
right?
everything.
Was it
Yeah,
Eli? Or
I think he won the second one.
I won the first one?
You won the first one. He won the second one.
And then I won the third one. But when I still had, I didn't have very many points when Eli won.
Yeah.
And so I was like
But you're still
way behind. And
Yeah.
then the only reason I got ahead was because I went out really fast.
Yeah, you just and it's so much the luck of the draw.
Yeah.
But
Because I had enough points to meld like right away.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we enjoy it, even though it's torturous and horrible.
As
when
all
you don't
card
win.
games are.
As all card games are.
And of
Don't
course,
win.
the real fun was like eating.
Oh
Junk
yeah,
food.
Rachel
Junk
puts out a
food.
spread
Ton
when we
of
go.
junk
It's
food.
so nice.
Yeah, that's chips and fruit and veggies, which I didn't eat a lot of because I was.
Oh, I ate too many cucumbers. I was kind of sick the rest of the night. Those cucumbers are really good, and I ate so many of them. Oh, it's awful.
I was working on this, and now I'm like, I want to take this out because in this light I can see
Yeah.
what's
I
wrong.
don't know what I did this week. Yeah, I had my COVID shot on Tuesday night.
And then
Tuesday
it's kind of
afternoon.
like after that, you're
And
like,
then
eh.
Wednesday and Thursday, I was kind of out of it. And I was afraid when we went to the hospital to take my dad for his CT scan that I was going to get kicked out because I thought, what if I have? I took Tylenol for like a half hour before we left because I thought, what if I have a COVID shot fever and they kick me out of the place? But
Well, you know, that's what I was worried about too, because
Yeah.
with my colonoscopy, because I had my second COVID shot on Saturday, and the colonoscopy was scheduled for Thursday, and I was like, well, nothing, you know. But when they took my temperature at the facility when I got there, it was like 95. My
that's not
temperature.
good. Look,
Yeah.
here's my first little sun. I like how it looks like a sun.
Yeah, it looks like those little faces that people put on their walls.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, the little
Mhm.
that little Aztec sun thing.
Mhm.
Let me see.
I think the next one I'm gonna do opposite. I'm gonna do red, rust, yellow, green,
Mhm.
and I thought we'll put the one sun one of them here and the other one on the back hip. I thought that'd be cute. Because this picture is so like this one. It's like they just use scrap yarn, and half of this sun is one color, and the other half is. That's like stupid.
Well, granny squares, a lot of times are done with scrap yarn.
No, but if you look at, I'll take a picture of this.
Yeah.
But if you look at this square right here,
Yeah, I
See
wouldn't
how
like
half
that.
is-
I wouldn't like.
it's like they started with this blue and ran out, and then used half. This. I don't like this
supposed to be a
pattern.
half moon.
No, it's just. It's not even organized.
We've been enjoying ourselves so much. I didn't even realize how much time.
Yeah.
We've been talking a long time. So I'm gonna go figure this pattern out, and I will update you. And maybe I'll put it on the Etsy shop so y'all can get hold of it. It's a cute pattern. I'm just gonna have to figure it out and do some math, which I don't like doing now. But anyway, it's good to spend some time with you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And leave us comments below what you guys are working on, what's going on in your lives. Have you gotten your shots? And what else? I guess we're all done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made good progress on my.
Oh, there you go.
I hit the top of the tree.
Oh,
I still have to do the bottom part, but
Yeah.
it's.
I love
this
that
top part is
pattern.
done.
I love it. I would never have the
Yeah.
patience for it. But what I like about it is it gets little tiny pieces.
Yeah, that's
Like you can
that's
finish a tree
Yeah.
in one day or
If you
something.
finish a tree, you know you feel accomplished.
Yeah.
You know,
What is
which
this one?
That's the
Daily walk in the woods.
It's so cute. Well, yeah, because you think about it, you could do a tree a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah, well, that's what it says in the
Oh.
instructions. Are like you have all these mini finishes.
Yeah,
so,
that's neat.
yeah. The only hard part for me is like because I have like scribble all over here, like all the back stitching of these little trees and the back stitching and the birds. It's like, is that blue or is that black? Is that
Yeah.
is that So what shade is that?
Do you do
know?
the back stitching for each tree before you move on?
Yeah,
I would, because
yeah.
that would be horrible to have to go back. And
Yeah,
the whole
no,
thing.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
and some of these, like this one here, the trunk is
Yeah.
all backstitched. So
Yeah.
in order to do it,
That's neat.
yeah.
I like
so,
that pattern a lot.
Yeah.
I always want to do cross stitch, but I have so much trouble finishing the things I need to finish. Anyway, sorry, we're just babbling.
Yeah.
So we're just.
It has been one of
spending
those
time-
weeks.
Yeah, it has been. It has been. So hopefully by next week I'll have some progress to report.
I should have.
I have
at least a
unprogress
week.
right now.
Unprogress.
I have unprogress. But I mean, I got his hat and his little eyeballs on there. Those are right. And I'm gonna take all this white out and I'm gonna do the colors. And
First.
Yeah.
and then
It'll be easier to fill in the white. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think even if it was just regular white, not this sparkly white, it would be really
It'd be
hard to
easier.
see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're on Lord of the Rings. How many endings can we have?
Yes.
Okay, I always joke about that movie because there's like 15
Yeah.
endings. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here, this is, the war's over. Okay, now we're going to do the award ceremony. Okay, now we're going to go home. Okay, now we're going to go away on the gray ships. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
And this is really the end.
This is really it. Okay, bye.
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 If I can turn it off.